So let's start with our first set for today. The set says, read the following instructions carefully and answer the questions that follow. A new public transport system is being planned to be set up in the city. The Transport Corporation has identified 16 different sectors which they plan to connect through buses. The travel duration between any pair of sectors will be less than 1 hour, so the same bus will be able to connect any two sectors for a round trip. For example, the onward and return journey from sectors P to Q, some two sectors, and from sectors Q to P can be undertaken by one direct bus operating between these two sectors. Any person staying in any of these 16 sectors should be able to make a round trip to any sector from any other sector in the city. So let's forget about 16. Let's take an example. Suppose there are three sectors, or there are sectors की जगह city समझ लो आप. If there are three cities and if we need roads or journeys between them, so it is going to be written as a total of 3C2, as in 3 such roads are required. Okay, if you are talking about 4 of them, suppose there are 4 cities or 4 sectors, how many roads will be required between them? So you can draw completely and you can find that there are going to be 6. How do you get that? It's going to be 4C2. So that will result in a 6. So NC2 gives us the number of roads that are supposed to be there between a pair of cities or sectors, or towns, villages, whatever you would like to call it. Okay, yeah, good afternoon, Sonali. So let's start with the first question. 4 of the 16 sectors are to be developed as hubs. A hub is a sector which is connected with every other sector by direct buses. The only direct bus which will be scheduled are originating and or terminating in one of the hubs. The minimum number of direct buses that need to be scheduled so that any person staying in any of the 16 sectors should be able to make a round trip to any of the sector from any other sector in the city is met without visiting more than one hub during the trip is. So the understanding of the question, what is given, what they're asking, is very, very crucial, because the calculation part is not a difficult one. So it says there are 16 sectors and 4 of them are supposed to be hubs. So let's denote the hubs as small squares. So 4 hubs are here. And then we need another 12 cities, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 cities and 4 hubs. Now, these 4 hubs are connected to each other. So the number of connections we are going to have is going to be 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which can be calculated as 4C2. So this is between hubs. Now, if you read this first paragraph, it says every hub is connected with every other sector by different buses. So that means this hub is going to be connected with each of these sectors. सबके साथ connect होने वाला है. So can I say the first hub is going to be connected to 12 sectors, so we will need another 12 of those buses. जितने bus होंगे उतने roads होंगे, right? So 12 buses are required. Now, similarly, the next one is going to be connected with each one of them. So that is going to be another 12. So for each hub, we are going to have 12 of them. And then between the hubs, among the hubs, we are going to have 6 of the buses plying. So total, how much we will have? 12 into 4, 48. 48 plus 6 is 54. So 54 such buses are required. Not a difficult one, right? It's the language that makes it little difficult. Okay, the next one. The 16 sectors are divided into 4 distinct zones, having 3, 4, 4 and 5 sectors, which is 16. Okay, so we have one zone, which is Z1, which has 3 sectors. Then we have another zone Z2, which has 4. We have another zone Z3, which has another 4. And we have 4th zone Z4, which has 5 sectors. Z1 consists of sectors named K, L, and M. So we have K, L, and M. Both sectors, okay. Further, suppose that direct buses are scheduled only between two sectors. Sectors की जगह city आप समझो. Okay, sectors, if it is confusing because sectors looks more like a combination of places, right? City is like specific place. So only between two sectors satisfying one of the following. Both sectors are in Z1. अब Z1 के अंदर if both the sectors are there are 3 of them. So between 3, how many buses are required, right? So it's going to be 3C2, which is 3. Between K and any sector in Z2, between K and any sector in Z2. So there are 4 such sectors. 4 hai na? So how many will we require here? 4. Between L and any sector in Z3. So L and any sector in Z3. Now Z3 also has 4 sectors. So L is going to be connected to each of these 4 using 4 buses or 4 roads, right? So this is going to be another 4. Between M and any sector in Z4. So Z4 has 5 sectors. So M say how many roads are going to come out? 5 of them. Right? Then the minimum number of buses that will enable a person staying in any of these 16 sectors to make a round trip to any sector from any other sector of the city is. So obviously we have a total of 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5, which is same as 16. So आपको 16 हो जाएगा. The next one. The 16 sectors are divided into 4 distinct zones, having 3, 4, 4, 5 sectors respectively, the one that we have already seen. Direct buses are allowed between any 2 sectors with a zone, and there is one connecting bus between any 2 of the 4 zones. Okay, so let's draw these zones. So we have zone Z1 with 3 sectors. We have zone Z2 with 4 of them. We have zone Z3 with another 4, and then we have zone Z5 with 5 of them. It is given that direct buses are allowed between any 2 sectors within a zone. So if I talk about zone Z1, how many roads will be here between them themselves? 3C2. If I talk about zone Z2, how many roads we are going to have between them? So this is going to give us 4C2. Same should happen with zone 3 because it also has got 4 sectors. So it's 4C2, which is 6. Zone Z5, we are going to have a total of 5C2, which is 10. And there is a one connecting bus between any 2 of the 4 zones. Now, between these zones, these 4 zones also we have buses. So we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So between these zones, since there are 4 zones, we will have 4C2, that is another 6 buses that are going to play. So total kitne ho gaye? 3 from Z1, 6 from Z2, 6 from Z3, 10 from Z5, sorry, Z4. We don't have Z5 now. 10 from Z4, and then 6 from the 4 zones among themselves, right? So this is going to be 18, 28, 331. Okay. Next, the sectors are numbered from 1 to 16, and the sectors that are numbered as odd prime numbers are to be developed as hubs. So this question is same as the previous one. Here they just did not mention how many hubs we are going to have. So since we need odd prime numbers, so which are odd prime numbers? The odd prime numbers are 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, right? 16 tak hai number. So we are going to have 5 hubs. So I'm denoting the hubs using small squares. That means the remaining 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The remaining 11 are going to be sectors. Now, a hub is a sector which is connected with every other sector by direct buses. Same as the previous. ये सबके साथ connected होगा. Same will happen with the next one. Same will happen with the next one. So since we have 5 such hubs and each hub is going to connected with 11 of those sectors. So we will have a total of 55 buses that are required to ply between them. Now, the only direct buses which will be scheduled are originating and or terminating in one of the hubs. So among the hubs, इनके बीच में भी होगा, right? So how many we will have from there between among the hubs? We will have 5C2, which is going to give us 10. So this is between hubs themselves. So minimum number of direct buses that are needed to schedule so that any person staying in any of the 16 sectors should be able to make a round trip to any sector in any city without visiting more than one hub in one trip is. So it's a simple sum of these two, 65, right? Same as the previous questions, but the number of hubs and the number of hubs have changed, so that number of sectors will change. So you can see that this is a very easy set, right? You should simply understand the very basics of PNC, as in 4C2, otherwise we'll have to count every time, or say 5C2 or 3C2, right? And this is the question from CAT. Obviously the numbers have been, the data has been changed a bit, but itna hi tha. Okay, the next one. The 16 sectors are divided into 3 distinct zones, Z1, Z2 and Z3, having 4, 5 and 7 sectors respectively. So we have Z1 with 4 sectors, Z2 with 5 sectors and Z3 with 7 sectors. So we have 4 sectors here, we have 3 here, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Direct buses are allowed between any 2 sectors in a zone. एक zone के आपस के sectors. So if we talk about the zone 1, we will have 4C2 buses, we will have 3C2 and we will have 7C2. Now 4C2 is 6, 3C2 is 3, 7C2 is going to be 7 into 6, 42 by 2, 21. And there is one connecting bus between any 2 of the 3 zones. So अभी क्या हुआ, इनके आपस का तो travel roads सारे हो गए, ठीक है, whichever those are, जितना भी होगा. But then now between these zones also this is going to happen. So there are going to be 3 of them between the zones. Then the minimum number of direct buses that are required that will enable any person staying in any of these 16 sectors to make a round trip to the sector. So the latter part of every question over here is the same. कि कितने आपको निकल कर आया? What is the count here? So if we add all of this, we will be getting 6 plus 3, 9 plus 21, 30, 30 plus 3, 33. So theta question, 33 is the answer. Hold on. Direct buses are allowed between any 2 sectors in a zone, and there is one connecting bus between any 2 of the 3 zones. Oh, see, silly calculation mistake. I said 5, but I ended up writing 3 here. So this is 5C2 actually. And 5C2 is nothing but 10. So we will have 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 21, 30, 30 plus 10, 40. Right? A silly mistake that happens when you're copying the data from the question on your rough sheet. Sometimes we make mistakes with the signs or the values, right? Excuse me. What is the answer? Okay, the next one for this, I will have to hide myself so that we can read it. Yeah, good afternoon, Kajal. 64 students got a job offer on the first day of the placement drive conducted at the ISM, Pune for 3 specializations, finance, operations and marketing. Students from each specialization were offered 3 types of roles, consultants, managers and analysts, with at least one from each of the 3 types in each specialization. No student got more than one job offer and no 2 specializations have the same number of students placed. The following information is also known about the placement. First point is the number of students who are offered the role of manager in the marketing and finance specialization are equal, while the number of students who got offers for the role of managers in the operations functions is 2/3 the number. 60% of the analysts in the marketing function and 20% are in finance function, right? And statements like these. See, no student got more than one job offer and no 2 specializations have the same number of students placed means इनिशियली पढ़ते ही लगता है कि दिस इज द सेट थ्योरी क्वेश्चन, है ना, 3 सेट का, बट वी कैन नॉट हैव अ कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ ऑपरेशंस एंड मैनेजमेंट, एज इन अ स्टूडेंट कैन नॉट गेट मोर देन वन जॉब ऑफर. एंड सिमिलरली 2 specializations, let's say consultant or a manager cannot be in this same specialization. So finance में कोई एक role नहीं है where you can be a consultant as well as a manager. That means it is not a set theory question, it's a simple table based question, right? So we are supposed to draw the table, right, with 3 rows and 3 columns, so that we will get finance, operations and marketing, and the roles being consultants, managers and analysts. And these are the values that we are supposed to fill, and the cells we are supposed to fill from the values that are given here, right? So we will need a table like this. So let's do one thing. Let's draw a table. Okay, but before that, I will quickly copy paste the information so that while solving we know what numbers we are dealing with, and then we need a table. So I will take a 4x4 table. Okay, why 4x4? Because I am going to write the column and row names as well, isn't it? So I will need that. Okay, fine. So chalo start karte hain. Acha, I can be visible in this. So what I will do is I'll move it a little bit, or let's see if I unhide myself. So good. So if you remember, there are a total of 64 students. Okay, so we have the roles, specializations as finance, marketing and operations. So this is finance, this is marketing, this is operations. And then we have got consultants, we have got managers, and then we have got analysts, right? The first statement, the number of students who are offered the role of manager in the marketing and finance are equal. Consultant, finance, operations, marketing. एक काम करते हैं, उसी सीक्वेंस में लिख देते हैं, finance, operations, marketing. Okay, so the number of students who are offered the role of manager in the marketing and the finance are equal. So let's call them M and M because we are talking about managers. Okay, while the number of students who got offers for the role of manager in operations, this portion is 2/3 the number of students who got the offer for the role of manager in finance. Okay, so this is going to be 2/3 of M, right? Now, I don't want to work with fractions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this one as these ones as 3M, so that 2/3 of this 2M comes here. So we have 3M, 2M, 3M, which is going to give us a total of 8M, total managers. We're done with the first statement. The second says the number of students who got offers for the role of consultant in the marketing function is more than the number of students who got the offers for the role of consultant in the operations. तो ये इससे ज़्यादा है, right? The number of students who got offers for the role of a consultant in the operations is the average of the number of students who got offers for the role of consultant in the other two specialization. So this portion is the average of these two. Now think about this. If there are any two numbers that you choose, okay, the average will definitely lie between them. Or rather say the average will never lie outside the two numbers. If both the numbers are same, average will be exactly the same value. But if the numbers are different, uska average इनके बीच में कहीं lie करता है. So looking at this, can we say if average is going to lie between the two numbers where one number is already larger than it, so can we say the other number is going to be smaller than it? So this is the sequence in which this average is going to lie. I mean, the values are going to lie. Operations value is going to be more than the value in finance and less than the value in marketing under consultant role. Okay? Nothing much we can figure out from here. Values nahi pata chal rahe. We can't write any expression. Shouldn't write a plus b by 2. Won't help. Next it says 60% of the analysts are in marketing function. So we're talking about analysts now, and 60%, and 20% are in the finance function. So 60% is 3 by 5 and 20% is 1 by 5. So what I will do is I'll take this as 5A, says that 60% of 5A, 3A are in marketing and 20% are in finance. That means A is. So 3A, A, 4A plus another A, that will become operations. We are done with the third statement. Fourth, the total number of managers and analysts, total number as in their sum, are consecutive natural numbers whose sum is a perfect square. Okay, 5A and 8M are consecutive numbers and their sum is a perfect square. Now, which one is smaller between 5A and 8M? वो नहीं पता. Let's not try to write an equation. Let's think about one thing. You take any two consecutive numbers. ठीक है, मन में आप ले लो कोई भी दो consecutive number, and if you add them, you will always get odd value. So can we say the sum of these two is going to be an odd value, which is also a perfect square? PS, perfect square. Now, since the total number of people here is 64, we need to think of a scenario जो 64 से कम है, because consultant will be certain number of people, right? Managers and analysts together will be a number less than 64. So it's less than 64 and it's odd and it's a perfect square. So 64 se kam. The next perfect square, 64 is 8 square. So the next perfect square is 7 square, which is 49. 49 can be written as sum of 24 and 25. So if I take, see, 5A means 5 ke table mein, 8A means 8M means 8 ke table mein. So if one of them is 24 and another is 25, this is very much possible. 8M can be 24 and this can be 25. So that A becomes 5, 5 se multiply kar do, M becomes 3, ye possible hai. The next perfect square, which is odd, less than 49, this is 7 square, 6 square, ignore 5 square. So this is 25. 25 can be written as sum of two consecutive numbers, which are 12 and 13. Now 12 and 13, none of them are in the table of 5. So this won't work. This is 5 square, 4 square आप छोड़ दो, उसके बाद आते हैं 3 square पे, 9. So if I take 9, 9 is the sum of consecutive numbers 4 and 5. So 5A is 5, that will work, but 8M is equal to 4A, M will become fraction. You can't have fraction number of people. So 9 will not work. After 9, which was 3 square, 2 square is 4, 1 square is 1, 1 का breakup नहीं हो सकता. So that means we are left with only one scenario, which is going to be 49. Okay? So this one is 24 and this one is 25. That gives us A as 5. So this turns out to be 15. This turns out to be 5. This turns out to be 5. M is equal to 3. So this turns out to be 9. This one is going to be 6. This one is going to be 9. Now, if we have a total of 49 here and the overall is 64, so that means the total number of consultants we are going to have is 15. Now, operations, remember, is the average. So, 15 ka 1/3, 5 will come here. We will have a value more than 5 here and a value less than 5 here. What are those exact values? That we cannot figure out, because in the first statement that is not, sorry, in the second condition, second point, it's not mentioned. But these are the values for manager and analysts we will have. Okay? So, yeah, 24, 25, and let's write down 15 here. See, hit and trial, 64 se niche gaye, the next odd perfect square, which is 49. For that, of course, one small but important part was required, that sum of two consecutive numbers will always be odd. नहीं तो आप फिर 36 भी try कर रहे होते, 16 भी कर रहे होते, time waste होता उधर. And do not write equation that 8m plus 5a is equal to perfect square. You don't know anything either on the LHS or RHS, right? Okay, let's look at the questions now. The first one says, based on the given information, which of the following statements must be false? First statement, the number of students who are offered the role of consultant in marketing. Consultant in marketing is more than 5 there, right? Is more than the number of students who are offered the role of manager in operations. Manager in operations is 6. तो वो 5 से ज़्यादा 6 से ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है, right? It can go up to an extent of how much? 9, so that it reduces to 1. Minimum 1, ठीक है? तो 5 से कम है ना, तो let's write this down. This can be 1, 2, 3, 4 here, because we need value less than 5. And accordingly, the other side, marketing wale mein, this is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Why can't we take 0? Maybe aapne dhyan nahi diya hoga. At least one student is there in every specialization under every course. Under every role. Okay? So we can't take 0 over there. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and accordingly it will have 9, 8, 7, 6. So obviously marketing we can have more than 6 also, right? So pehla to false nahi hai. Next one. The number of students who are offered the role in marketing specialization. So in marketing specialization, what is the number of people who can receive that role? So we will have 9 plus 6, 15 plus 15, 30. Se leke 9 plus 9, 18, 18 plus 15 being 33. So 30 to 33 we can have there. Is double the number of students who are offered the role in finance specialization. Finance means first column. So we will have 9, 10 plus 5, 15. And 15 se leke 18. Very much possible. 15 ka double 30. Right? So this is of course also not false. See, the number of students who are offered the role of consultant in finance specialization. Consultant in finance specialization, 1, 2, 3, 4, is equal to the number of students who got the role of analyst in finance specialization. Analyst in finance specialization is 5 and consultant in finance is at most 4. So ये बराबर तो नहीं हो सकते, right? It says equal. So option C is definitely false. इसको गलत होना ही पड़ेगा, right? Okay. Next one. Which of the following cannot be determined uniquely based on the given information? So whatever we have figured out, क्या confirm नहीं है. The total number of students getting an offer in the operations specialization. Operations में the values 5, 6, 5, that is definite, right? Which will result in a 16. So ये तो definite है. This is not the answer because question says cannot be determined. The total number of students getting an offer in the finance specialization. In the finance, obviously we do not know, we get a range, right? So ये नहीं हो सकता. You can go ahead and check option C and D, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. But if you are confident, you can mark the option. So B is the answer. Next. What is the number of students who got the offer for the role of an analyst in the finance specialization? Analyst finance. Analyst finance is 5, right? So 5. And next one is, what is the number of students who got the offer for the role of consultant in marketing function if it is an even number? Consultant in marketing, if it is an even number, let's take a pause here. Let's check. Consultant in marketing, if it is an even number, so it can be 6 or 8, right? Though possibility. It's a theta question, so obviously we have something more, which lies between the number of students who got offers for the role of a manager in operations and marketing. Manager in operations and marketing. Manager in operations and marketing is 6 and 9. So we need an even number which is between them. So it's going to be 8. Because 8 lies between 6 and 9. 6 doesn't lie between 6 and 9. You know? Okay, so this is going to be 8. 8 is the answer. Next is, what could be the maximum possible number of total students getting an offer in the marketing function? We have to maximize marketing ka column. 33?